The late Peter Marshall, an eloquent speaker and for several years the chaplain of the United States Senate, used to love to tell the story of the keeper of the spring, a quiet, almost unseen and unknown forest dweller who lived high above an Austrian village along the eastern slopes of the Alps. The old gentleman had been hired many years earlier by a young town council to clear away the debris from the pools of water that fed the lovely spring flowing through their town. With faithful, silent regularity he patrolled the hills, removed the leaves and branches, and wiped away the silt from the fresh flow of water. By and by, the village became a popular attraction for visitors. Graceful swans floated along the crystal clear spring. Farmlands were naturally irrigated, and the view from restaurants was picturesque. Years passed. One evening the town council met for its annual meeting. As they reviewed the budget, the treasurer noticed the salary being paid the obscure keeper of the spring. The treasurer asked, "Who is the old man? Why do we keep him on year after year? For all we know he is doing us no good. He isn't necessary any longer." By a unanimous vote, they dispensed with the old man's services. For several weeks nothing changed. By early autumn the trees began to shed their leaves. Small branches snapped off and fell into the pools, hindering the rush and flow of water. One afternoon someone noticed a slight yellowish-brown tint in the spring. A couple of days later the water was much darker. Within another week a slimy film covered sections of the water along the banks, and a foul odour was detected. The mill wheels moved slower. Some finally ground to a halt. Swans left, as did the tourists. Clammy fingers of disease and sickness began to reach into the village. Embarrassed, the council called a special meeting. Realizing their gross error in judgment, they re-employed the old keeper of the spring, and within a few weeks the river began to clear up. Fanciful though it may be, the story carries with it a vivid, relevant analogy directly related to the times in which we live. What the keeper of the spring meant to the village, Christian servants mean to our world. The preserving, taste-giving bite of salt mixed with the illuminating, hope-giving ray of light may seem feeble and needless. But God help any society that attempts to exist without them. You see, the village without the keeper of the springs is a perfect representation of the world system without the salt and light of God's servants, mostly serving with dedication and often little or no recognition.